Start. Okay, start ko sa okay na. Kung ano kung nag-ayos na tayo dyan. Okay na. Wala. Isa. Okay na. Okay na, tingnan sa harsh. YouTube. Okay. Sige. Sige. Sige, sir. Okay na, no? Yes, sir. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I now call to order the meeting of the Citizen Awards Committee today, July 23, 2026, at DPWH Cotabato District Engineering Office. And now to the policy. So before we start, we request the back secretariat please conduct the roll call, the back members, DWJ and observers vote in person and
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all viewers. Well, the following the role of attendees for today's procurement activity preview conference. Board member, we have Michael Juan Chenit, MPA, Box Chairman, Naseri Darandas, Vice Chairman, Asnote Ibrahim, regular member, Kentre Kaduka, provisional member, Alinaim Saliwato, provisional member. We have also Alex Seligaran, procurement unit. From Goa representative Maripel Ivan and Lester Hamudia. About TWG members, we have Asraf Samran, Mandur Sabi Faisal, Nithi Sanal Tajaskar, and Abdul Khalid D. Pantao. Back Secretariat member, Susari B. Corais, Ainon Nasrin, Manarundong, Jason Israel, Luigi Donna Elbedong, and Sanuddin Founded. We have also from Planning and Design Section, Joyra M. Sansarona, John Charles Boras, Ivan Ekanta, and Muhammad Arif Yiling. We have also from procurement to assist with us. We have Sir Erwin, Sir Hasnor, Ma'am Gray, Ma'am Risa, and Ma'am Saira. And from observer, we have Sir Ronnie, Serna from Green Energy. That's all.
so thank you. With five PAC members present, I declare that the quorum is established. We also confirm for the record that all invited observers received their notices of meeting at least 5 days prior in compliance with the Republic Act 12009 and its implementing rules and regulations. I also wish to inform everyone that this meeting is being live streamed through our official YouTube channel for transparency. So for today's main agenda is the private conference for the 12 procurement projects. So before we proceed, the committee acknowledge the presence of the representatives of our bidders who are attending either on-site or online. Thank you for your participation. So we will now proceed with the presentation, the contact details of the project. We will request the representative from the end user or the planning to discuss the details. Please.
Good morning, everyone. For the first project with the contract ID number of 26MI0050-R1, reconstruction of damaged paved roads along MATALAM-MLANG-BAGONTAPAY Junction Road, kilometer 1642 plus parenthesis minus 1,370 to kilometer 1642 plus parenthesis minus 529, kilometer 1642 plus parenthesis minus 590 to kilometer 1642 plus parenthesis minus 492, kilometer 1642 plus parenthesis minus 474 to kilometer 1642 plus parenthesis minus 423, kilometer 1642 plus parenthesis minus 394 to 16 kilometers 1642 plus parenthesis minus 385. Project location Matalam, North Cotabato. Contract duration of 108 days. Funding agreement got 2026. Infra type reblocking. Target length 1.795 unit of measure 9 kilometer. With the approved budget for the contract, 12,939,140 with an EO of 2%, 263,860 and total estimated cost of 13,193,000. Description of works to be done. We have facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, sub-base and base course, surface courses, bridge construction, drainage and slope protection structures, miscellaneous structures, and materials details. Under facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer. Under other general requirements, we have project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthworks, we have removal of actual structure or obstruction, 0.28 meter thickness, PCCP. Removal of structures and obstruction, concrete. Removal of actual structures of obstruction, 910 millimeter diameter, RCPC. Removal of actual structures or obstruction, 0.05 meter thickness, TCP. Structure excavation, common soil, foundation fill, pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, and subgrade preparation, common material. Under sub-base and base course, we have aggregate sub-base course. Under surface courses, we have Portland cement concrete pavement and reinforced 0.28 meter thickness, 14 days. Under bridge construction, we have reinforcing steel grade 40, reinforcing steel grade 60, structural concrete class A, and structural concrete class B. Under drainage and slope protection structures, we have pipe culverts, 910 millimeter diameter, RCPC, and we also have manholes, 910 millimeter diameter, concrete. Under miscellaneous structures, we have guide or information sign, G1-3, advanced direction signs, stop sign. We also have reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, white, and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, yellow. Minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe with breaker, one payloader, one dump truck, one backhoe, one boom truck, one road grader with scarifier, one plate compactor, one water truck or pump, one motorized road grader, one vibratory roller, four transit mixer, two concrete vibrator, one concrete batch plant, one concrete screeder, one concrete saw, one bar cutter, one bar bender, one cargo or service truck, 9 to 10 empty, one bagger mixer, one cargo or service truck, 2 to 5 empty, one applicator machine, and one milling machine. For the second project, we have contract ID number of 26MI0052-R1, construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Hall, Barangay New KALIBO, MLANG Cotabato, with the project location of Barangay New KALIBO, MLANG Cotabato. Contract duration 110 calendar days. Funding agreement GA 2026. Infra type building. Target amount 1 unit of measure unit. With the approved budget for the contract 4,950,000. EO of 50,000 and total estimated cost of 5 million. Description of works to be done, we have facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings, and other civil works, electrical and mechanical works. Under facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer. Under other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthworks, we have structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel fill. Under reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, class A, reinforcing steel, D4, grade 40, formworks, and post works. Under finishings and other civil works, we have catch basin, concrete, sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, septic vault or tank, concrete or CHB, plumbing fixtures, old water lines, ceiling, 4.5 millimeter metal frame fiber cement board, ceiling, metal frame pre-painted metal panel, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 24 gutter, pre-painted metal sheets, long span corrugated type, glazed tiles and trims, unglazed tiles, synthetic granite tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works, steel, reflective insulation, aluminum cladding, CHB non-loading bearing, 100 mm, CHB non-loading bearing 150 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel, trusses, structural steel purlins. Under electrical, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel boards with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical, we have air conditioning system, package or split type, fire extinguisher, 9.07 kilograms, ABC with bracket, and fire alarm system. Minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, 25 mm maximum rebar, three phase, one bar cutter, 25 mm maximum rebar diameter, single phase, one concrete vibrator, one cutting outfit, two dump truck, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane standard lattice boom, and one welding machine.
Good morning once again. For the third project with the contract ID number 26MI0054-R1, the project name is Construction of Multi-Purpose Building, Barangay Hall, Barangay Lampagang, Tulunan, Cotabato, 6.81228, 124.955633. The project location is at Barangay Lampagang, Tulunan, Cotabato. The contract duration is 110 calendar days. The funding agreement is GAA FY 2026. The infra type is building, target amount of 1, and unit measure of unit. The approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 with an EL of 50,000. Description of works to be done are facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. Under the facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer, and under the other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under the earthworks, we have structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel fill. Under the reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, class A, 28 days, reinforcing steel deformed, grade 40, formworks and false works. Under the finishings and other civil works, we have catch basin concrete, sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, septic water tank, concrete for CHB, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling, 4.5 millimeter metal frame, fiber cement board, ceiling, metal frame, pre-painted metal panel, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 24, 0.701 millimeter gutter, pre-painted metal sheets, long span corrugated type above 0.427 millimeter. Glazed tiles and trims, unglazed tiles, synthetic granite tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works, steel, reflective insulation, aluminum cladding, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel, 100 millimeter. CHB non-loading bearing including reinforcing steel, 150 millimeter. Metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, and structural steel purlins. Under the electrical, we have conduits, boxes, and fittings, conduit works or conduit rock-in, wires and wiring devices, panel board with mains and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical, we have air conditioning system, package or split type, fire extinguisher, 9.07 kilogram, ABC with bracket, and fire alarm system. Minimum equipment requirement to this project, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, one cutting outfit, two dump truck, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, and one truck mountain crane, two welding machines.
Good morning, everyone. For the next project, 26-0058-R1, project name, construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Hall, in Barangay Tawan-Tawan ng Cotabato. 6.9328 22, 124.914543. Project location, Barangay Tawan-Tawan ng Cotabato. Contract duration of 110 calendar days. Funding agreement, General Appropriate Act, FY 2026. Infra type, building, target, amount 1, unit to measure, unit. The approved budget of the contract, 4,950,000, with an EO of 50,000. Estimated project component cost, 5 million. Description of works to be done, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical, mechanical. Under facilities for the engineer, construction of field office for the engineer, other general requirements, permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization, earthworks, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, gravel field, reinforced concrete, structural concrete class A, delete base, reinforcing steel or deformed, grade 40, formworks and false works, finishing and other civil works, cuts, basic, basin, concrete, sewer line works, stone drainage and downspout, septic well or tank, concrete or CHP, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame fiber cement board, ceiling metal frame with the painted metal panel, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessories, gauge 24 0.701 mm gutter, pre-painted metal sheets, long span, corrugated type, above 0.427 mm, glazed tiles and trims, unglazed tiles and trims, tiles, synthetic granite tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works steel, reflective insulation, aluminum cladding, CHB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel 100 mm, CHB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel 150 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, structural steel purlins, under electrical, conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit works or conduit racking, wires and devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, lighting fixtures, under mechanical, air conditioning system, package or split type, fire extinguisher, 9.07 kilogram, ABC with bracket, fire alarm, minimum equipment requirement, one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, one cutting outfit, two dump truck, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two welding machine. For the next project, we have 26MI0059-R1. Project name, construction of multi-purpose building, Barangay Hall, Barangay BUSAON, BANISILAN, Cotabato. 7.466536, 124745324. Project location, Barangay BUSAON, BANISILAN, Cotabato. With the project duration of 110 calendar days. Funding agreement, General Appropriate Act, FY 2026. Infra type building, target amount 1, unit measure, unit. Approved budget of the contract, 4,950,000, with the DEO 50,000, estimated project component cost 5 million. Description of works to be done, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical, and mechanical. Under facilities for the engineer, construction of field office for the engineer, under general requirements, permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, removal of structures and obstruction, structure excavation common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil, embankment from barrow common soil, gravel field. Under reinforced concrete, structural concrete plus A20 base, reinforcing steel, deformed grade 40, formworks and false works. Other finishing and other civil works, cuts, basin, concrete, sewer line works, storm drains and downspout, septic bowl or tank, concrete CHB, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling, 4.5 mm metal frame, fiber cement board, ceiling, metal frame, prepainted metal panel, aluminum glass window, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessories gauge 24.01 0.0701 mm gutter, repainted metal sheet roof span, corrugated type above 0.427 mm, glazed tiles and frames, unglazed tiles, synthetic granite tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works steel, reflective insulation, aluminum cladding, CHB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel 100 mm, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 150 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, structural steel purlins. Under electrical, conduit boxes and fittings or conduit works or conduit hacking. Wires and wiring devices, panel board, main branch breakers, lightning fixtures, mechanical air conditioning system, package or split type, fire extinguisher, 9.07 kilogram ABC with bracket, fire alarm system. Minimum equipment requirement, 1 backhoe, 1 bar bender, 1 bar cutter, 1 concrete vibrator, 1 cutting outfit, 2 dump truck, 1 bagger mixer, 1 plate compactor, 1 truck mounted crane, and 2 weeding machine. Good morning once again for the next project. 26 MI 0085, construction, completion of multi-purpose building, covered court, Barangay ILIAN, MATALAM-MLANG-BAGONTAPAY, 7.124046, 124.89443. Project location, Barangay ILIAN, MATALAM-Cotabato. Contract duration of 130 calendar days. Infra type, DLB. The approved budget for the contract, 4,950,000 pesos and PIA of 1%, equivalent to 50,000 pesos. Project components cost, 5 million pesos. Description of works to be done. We have facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. Under facilities for the engineer is the construction of an office for the engineer. Under other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthworks, we have removal of structures and construction, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel field. Under reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete, class A, rated base, reinforced and steel, deformed, grade 40, formworks and crossworks. Under finishing and other civil works, we have ceiling, 4.5 mm metal frames, 5% board, CHB non-material, including reinforced steel, 100 mm, cement plaster finish, painting works for masonry or concrete, painting works for steel, textured finish, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26, 0.551 mm for flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessories gauge 24, 0.701 mm for travelers,
prepainted metal sheets above 0.427 mm, plate type, structural steel for glasses, above steel for purlins, metal structural accessories, cut spacing, CSB, storm drains, and downspout. Under electrical, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical is ventilating equipment. Minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, two dump trucks, one bed compactor, one full bed vibrator, one bagger mixer, one bar cutter, one bar bender, two welding machines, one cutting outfit, and one truck mounted crane. For the next project is 26MI0086 project name, construction, completion of multi-purpose building, covered courts, Barangay Takulan, Matalang, Cotabato. 7.06765, 124.87687. Contract duration of 130 calendar days. Infra type building. With approval budget of 4,950,000 pesos. KNEL of 1%, equivalent to 50,000 pesos. Project component cost 5 million pesos. Description of works to be done. We have facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, electrical and mechanical. Other facilities for the engineer is construction of field office for the engineer. Other requirements are permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Other earthworks are removal of structures and obstruction, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow or embankment from roadway, or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel field. Under reinforced concrete are structural concrete, class 8 within base, reinforced steel, deformed, reinforced formworks and floorsheds. Under finishings and other civil works are catch basins, HB, sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling 4.5 mm metal frame, fiber cement board, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 26 0.551 mm for flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 24 0.701 mm for gutters, pre-painted metal sheet, about 0.427 mm corrugated type, long span, glaze tiles and trims, unglazed tiles, floor tapping, plain cement, plaster finish, painting works for masonry or concrete, painting works for stitch, texture finish, HB non-load bearing, including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structural accessories, structural steel for trusses, and structural steel for bearings. Under electrical are conduits, boxes and fittings, wire and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical is ventilating equipment. Minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one concrete vibrator, two dump trucks, one jackhammer, one cutting outfit, one bagger mixer, one bed compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two welding machines.
For the next project with a contract ID number 26NI0087, the project name is completion or rehabilitation of multi-purpose building covered court in Barangay La Fortuna, MLANG, Cotabato, 6.8708884, 124.95327. The project location is at Barangay La Fortuna, MLANG, Cotabato. The contract duration is 130 calendar days. The funding agreement is GAA FY 2026, and for type of building, target amount 1 and unit of measure is unit. The approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 with an EL of 50,000. So the estimated project component cost is 5 million. The description of works to be done for this project are facilities for the engineers, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, and electrical. Under the facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field office for the engineer. And under the other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under the earthwork, we have structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel field. Under the reinforced concrete, we have structural concrete class A 28 gauge, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, formworks and false works, catch basin CHB, storm drainage and downspout, ceiling 4.5 millimeter metal frame fiber cement board, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26 0.551 millimeter flashing, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 24 0.701 701 millimeter gutters, pre-painted metal sheets above 0.427 millimeter corrugated type long span, cement plaster finish, painting works, masonry or concrete, painting works steel, textured finish, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel, 100 millimeter, metal structure accessories, structural steel, trusses, structural steel purlins. Under electrical, we have conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit works or conduit rock-in, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. The minimum equipment requirement for this project, 1 backhoe, 1 bar bender, 1 bar cutter, 1 concrete vibrator, 2 dump truck, 1 cutting outfit, 1 bagger mixer, 1 plate compactor, 1 truck mounted crane, and 2 welding machine. For the ninth project with the contract ID number 26MI0088, the project name is Construction or Completion of Multipurpose Building Healthcare Center in Barangay Poblacion, Carmen, Cotabato, 7.1991124.798.436. The project location is at Barangay Poblacion, Carmen, Cotabato. The contract duration is 100 calendar days. The infra type is building, target amount of 1, the unit measure is unit. The approved budget for the contract is 2,970,000 with an EL of 30,000. So the estimated project component cost is 3 million. Description of works to be done are facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, and electrical. Under facilities for the engineer, we have construction of field services for the engineer. Under civil other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, we have structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel field. Under reinforced concrete, we have structure concrete class A 28 days, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, and formworks and falseworks. Under finishings and other civil works, we have civil line work, septic water tank, concrete or CHB, plumbing fixtures, cold water lines, ceiling 4.5 millimeter metal frame fiber cement board, aluminum glass windows, wooden doors and windows, fabricated metal roofing accessory gauge 26 0.551 millimeter flashing, pre-painted metal shields above 0.427 millimeter corrugated type long spans, glazed tiles and trims, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works masonry or concrete, painting works steel, reflected insulation, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 150 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel trusses, and structural steel purlins. Under electrical, conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit works or conduit rock-in, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical, we have air conditioning system, package with split type, fire extinguisher 4.54 kg, ADC with bracket. The minimum equipment requirement for this project, 1 backhoe, 1 bar bender, 1 bar cutter, 1 concrete vibrator, 2 dump truck, 1 cutting outfit, 1 bagger mixer, 1 plate compactor, 1 truck mounted crane, and 2 welding machine.
For the next project, 60MI0089, project name Construction with Solar Water System, Barangay Laswertin, Cotabato. Project location Barangay Laswertin, Cotabato. funding with a one contract duration of 120 calendar days, funding agreement up CY 2026, infra type water supply system. With an approved budget for the contract of 4,150,000, EO of 50,000, estimated project component cost 5 million, description of works to be done, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishing and other civil works, electrical, mechanical, and water supply. Under construction, under facilities for the engineer, construction office for the engineer, other general requirements, permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork, clearing, grabbing, structured excavation common soil, embankment from barrow roadways or structured excavation common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, gravel field, under reinforced concrete, structural concrete plus A20 in place, reinforcing steel deformed grade 40, formworks and false works, other finishing under finishing and other civil works, pipes with fittings connection, floor drain plates 75 mm diameter stainless, fabricated metal roofing accessories, gauge 56 0.51 mm grades or hip rolls, prevented metal sheets above 0.427 mm, corrugated type long span, waterproofing, cement base, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works of masonry or concrete, painting works steel, CHB, non-load bearing including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structure accessories, structural steel process, structural steel purlins, under electrical, solar panel and inverter, battery and other devices, lighting fixtures, mechanical, water pumping system, submersible sump pump with control, underwater supply, polyethylene or PE, plastic pipe, and fan. Minimum equipment requirement, one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one boom truck, one cargo truck, one concrete vibrator, one drilling rig, two dump truck, one cutting outfit, one bagger mixer, one lead compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two building machine. For the next project, 26MI 0090, project name construction completion of water system for PFP at Barangay Production A in Cotabato. Project location, Barangay Production A in Cotabato. Contract duration of 90 calendar days. Funding agreement, 2026, Simca site water supply system. Approved budget for the contract, 2,970,000 pesos. DEO of 1% equivalent to 30,000 pesos. And project component cost of 3 million pesos. Description of works to be done are facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthwork, reinforced concrete, finishings and other civil works, electrical, mechanical, and water supply. Under facilities for the engineer is the construction of field office for the engineer. Under other general requirements are permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork are structure excavation common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation common soil, embankment from barrow common soil, and reality. Under reinforced concrete are structural concrete, Class 8 with base, reinforced 16, deformed grade 40, formworks and false works. Under finishings and other civil works are pipes with fittings connection, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 26 0.551 mm, bridge or heat rods, prepainted metal sheets, about 0.427 mm, corrugated type, long span, cement plaster finish, painting works for masonry or concrete, painting work for steel, 6 million load bearing, including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structural accessories, structural steel for trusses and structural steel for purlins, electrical wires and wiring devices and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical are water pumping system, submersible sump pump with control, and underwater supply is one. Minimum equipment requirement, we have one backhoe, one bar bender, one bar cutter, one boom truck, one concrete vibrator, one drilling rig, two dump trucks, one cutting outfit, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two welding machines. For the last project is the 56MI0091 project name Construction of Solar Water System at Barangay Upay, Cotabato. Project location Barangay Upay, Cotabato. Contract duration of 120 calendar days. Funding agreement GAA 2026 infra type water supply system. With approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos and EA of 1% equivalent to 50,000 pesos. Project component cost 5 million pesos. Description of works to be done are facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, paperwork, reinforced complete, finishings and other civil works, electrical, mechanical, and water supply. Under facilities for the engineer is the construction of field office for the engineer. Under other general requirements are permit clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization or demobilization. Under earthwork are structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel field. Under reinforced concrete are structural concrete class 8, 28 days, reinforcing steel deformed, grade 40, and formworks and forceworks. Under finishings and other civil works are pipe, fixed connection, floor drain plate, 75 mm diameter, stainless, fabricated metal roofing accessory, gauge 26, 0.551 mm, bridge solid cruise, prepainted metal sheets, above 0.427 mm, corrugated type long span, waterproofing, cement base, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish, painting works for masonry or concrete, painting works for steel, HB non bearing, including reinforcing steel 100 mm, metal structural accessories, structural steel for trusses, and structural steel for toilets. Under electrical are solar panel with inverter, battery and other devices, and lighting fixtures. Under mechanical are water pumping system and submersible sump pump with control. And under water supply are fully including plastic pipe and valve. Minimum equipment requirement one backhoe, one bar blender, one bar captain, one boom truck, one cargo truck, one concrete vibrator, one drilling rig, two dump trucks, one cutting outfit, one bagger mixer, one plate compactor, one truck mounted crane, and two wheels.
Thank you. We will now proceed with the proposal report for the submission of the bid documents that needs to be completed with the contractor. We will request the procurement head, Sir Alex, to discuss the specific requirements.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Vice Chair, club members, PWG in attendance, and back secretariat, as well as the observers from the PAWA and representatives from the Pinaka side. So I have here the additional announcements and instructions. So the bid documents deadline of submission is on August 3, 2026 at exactly 10 o'clock in the morning, and afterwards bid opening will commence. So as much as possible prior to pre-bid conference or the bid opening, make sure that the participating bidders have already signified their intent with the request for expression of interest on the REI, formerly known as letter of intent, submitted to our office before they will be conducting a joint ocular inspection with personnel from the PDS and be issued with a bid tender from the procurement unit and an order of payment from the finance section, and after which payment will be done at the cash unit. For participating bidders, they need to conduct a joint ocular inspection with the DPWH personnel in the proposed site for them to validate the said location with comparison to the plan and POW, and to submit afterwards an affidavit of site inspection when authorized. Then processing of CWA electronic eligibility will be simultaneously done right after the deadline set, which is on August 3, 2026 in 10 o'clock in the morning. So late submission of bid documents will no longer be accepted as set deadline, time, and date. Then We have here on the screen our Philippine bidding document. First edition dated May 2025. So the second page, we have the contract ID and the project title. So for the technical component envelope, we have the Class A document and the Class B documents. So for the Class A document, we have the legal documents, the technical documents, and financial documents form part of the technical component envelope. So, ito po yung checklist natin. So, paki-comply na lang po. Then, sa Class B document naman, ito yung pertaining doon sa joint venture agreement. Then, the second envelope is composed of the financial component envelope. So, nandun po yung bid form, yung price schedule, certificate of domestic preferences, duly signed bid prices, and the bill of quantities, and recurring and maintenance costs, if applicable. And so we have here to thoroughly discuss this technical component envelope Class A document. So for the legal documents, we have the valid PhilGIPS registration certificate, platinum membership. So since we are having a civil works, back on civil works, so it should be a platinum membership. So all pages in accordance with section 20 of the IRR of RA 12009. So it must be valid at the time of the bid opening, and it shall be signed per page. So that is for the PhilGIPS registration certificate. Then next is the updated general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly submitted to the SEC in accordance with its annual reportorial requirements. So the original document referred to must have an acknowledgement sheet from the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the submitted copy shall be signed per page. So with this GIS, this is coupled with the beneficial ownership information. So this is only pertaining to participating bidders having that corporation or incorporation or institution. So let's proceed with the third legal documents. We have the statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Meaning, yung lahat po ng mga participating bidders natin ay obligado po na i-disclose or i-declare lahat ng mga ongoing projects nila. It may be government or private contracts. Because this is very significant as to the NFCC is concerned. Then we have also another technical document, the statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or the SLCC. This SLCC is similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in section 52.4.1.3 and 52.4.1.4 of the IRR of RA 12009. Within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. So I will further elaborate this SLCC as we go along. Then the fifth technical document is the original copy of the bid security, if in the form of a surety bond. Submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or the IC, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Then the sixth document is originally duly signed omnibus sworn statement, or the OSS, in accordance with section 54.3 of the IRR of RA 12009, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. So OSS will be discussed thoroughly later on. Then next is the part of the Class A document, which is the financial document, the prospective bidder computation of net financial contracting capacity, or the NFCC, or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. So the NFCC, we have the formula or the standard formula provided under Section 52.4.1.4 of the IRR of RA 12009. So it should be followed. Then, punta naman tayo sa Class B document, still part of the technical component envelope. Financial document, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement, the GBA, in case the joint venture is already in existence. So, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide with the provision of GBA in the instance that the bid is successful. So, itong GBA natin is magkakaroon po siya ng special pickup license. So, we're having this joint venture agreement in the case na yung participating bidders po natin na hindi kakayanin ng kanyang license. That's why nagkakaroon siya ng partner na capable po doon sa sasalihan niya na ibibid. Also, for financial component envelope, we have the original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Then, original of duly signed and accomplished price schedules. So, ito po yung mga kinakailangan doon sa financial component envelope. And other documentary requirements under RA 12009 also as applicable for foreign bidders claiming by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. Then, still part of the other documentary requirements, certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. So, I would like to show the omnibus sworn statement na form. So, ito po siya, pakiting ng maigi. This form is already updated. Sumabay po siya sa RA 12009 natin. Previously, 10 paragraphs lang or 10 statements. Ang bago po natin is 11 statements na po. So, this form should be duly signed by the authorized representative, should be notarized, and original copy of the omnibus sworn statement po. So, hindi po pwede yung photocopied lang siya. Then, ito na po yung sa dulo, no? Hanggang 11 statements na po siya, then notarized. Then next is the bid securing declaration. So, pakiting ng maigi, ito po yung mga nakapaloob po sa ating bid securing declaration. So, it should be original copy of the bid securing declaration and also notarized and signed by the authorized signatories. Then, punta naman tayo sa list of ongoing government and private contracts. So, included doon yung awarded but not yet started. So, you have to declare all those projects or contracts. So, this form should be duly signed by the authorized representatives. Kailangang specific siya kung ano pong nire-require. Pwede pong hindi maging ganito talaga yung forma niya kasi magagaling naman sa inyo yung declaration. And supposedly, yung header ng inyong document is with your logo. So, naitanong ko na rito last time sa procurement service, wala namang actually standard as long as yung mga kinakailangang details ay maibigay po natin. So, ito yung sample. Paki-check lang po. So, kailangan specific. Andun yung name of contract, owner's name, address, date of contract, contract duration, nature of work, and contractor's rule, consistent with the supporting documents. So, contractor's rule, in the case na nagkaroon po ng GB, or joint venture agreement, GBA, may sharing kasi po yung contractor A at saka yung si contractor B. So, most likely, 49% and 51%. So, doon malalaman po yung equivalent na sharing din, no? So, same doon sa SLCC, makikita rin siya doon. So, supporting documents in the technical component is not required. However, to conduct a post-qualification, the original copies of the supporting documents shall be presented. So, if ever yung 5 na doon sa Annex A ng PhilJEPS registration natin is hindi siya available during sa bid opening, pwede naman po, binanggit po, nakasaad po doon sa RA 12009 natin, but you have to present the original copy during the post-qualification stage. Then you will be given 5 calendar days to present what is being asked by our BAC PWG. So, supporting documents are the notice of award, contract agreement, notice to proceed, and certificate of accomplishment from project owner or representative on ongoing projects. So, kung ano po yung hihingiin ng ating back TWG, yun po ang dapat may provide by the participating bidders. So, all data on the form shall be correct and consistent, and the bidder shall submit the original copy of the statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. So, ganun sinabi ko na kanina, ito ay mag-connect doon sa ating NFCC, in the sense na nakalagay po dito yung value of something works. So, i-compute po siya. Yung total noon is gagamitin doon sa formula ng NFCC natin. Then, sa statement of the single largest completed contract naman, or SLCC, this form should be duly signed by the authorized representative. Kailangan din specific and actual total contract value at completion. So, the total actual value at completion shall met the required experience of having completed SLCC that is similar to the project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. So meaning, kung ang sinalihan ninyo is amounting to 30 million, so the SLCC should be 15 million. No? Or SLCC should be a completed project. So hindi pwedeng i-declare na hindi pa completed. And it was contracted by the said participating bidder. So SLCC shall be supported with a certificate of final acceptance or official receipt of sales invoice issued by the owner. And all data on the form shall be correct and specific or consistent. Bidder shall submit the original copy of the statement of the bidder's SLCC. So pakitingnan na lang po yung form natin. Kung ano yung mga kakailanganin na data dapat mag-provide po natin. This form should be duly signed by the authorized representative also. So, okay na yun. So, aware na tayo na yung SLCC is dapat 50% of the EBC. Yung na-declare natin. So, doon naman sa part ng joint venture, dito po magagamit yung GVA natin. Kasi mangyari, yung capable partner is having a role of 51%, while the AMO or the authorized managing officer is only 49% to gain an experience. Sumunod po itong duly signed and accomplished financial bid form natin. So, paki-check po yung standard format ng ating bid form. May nakapaloob po dyan na supplemental bid bulletin. So, of the procurement project title, no? So, kung ano pong hinihingi, kailangan pong may supply natin. Then, with regards doon sa nag-quote po tayo ng offer natin, like for example, kung nag-discount tayo, you have to be specific. Ilalagay po natin doon kung ano yun, by in figure ba, or words, or percentage ba, or whatever na methodology applied, no? Then, dapat itong bid form natin is original copy rin po. Then also, this form should be duly signed by the authorized representative. Then, if in the case po na no discount offered, bidder shall write in A. So, hindi po pababayaan na naka-blanco lang po. Kailangan ilagyan ng in A kung walang discount. With regards naman doon sa requirement na sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership, ito po ay patungkol doon sa corporate or corporation. So, ito yung format, hindi natin i-supply, naka-notarize din po siya. And together with this is the GIS or the General Information Sheet. Para doon malalaman yung mga kasali po sa corporation na yon ng mga pangalan or mga incorporators. So, mahalaga po itong form na ito. Then, we will now go to the common reasons of disqualification. So, non-submission of any of the required documents in the technical and financial component of the bid is a ground for disqualification. Non-declaration of all ongoing contracts is also a disqualification. Kasi nga, nabanggit ko na kanina, form part siya doon sa computation ng ating NFCC. Then, declaration of SLCC not contracted and completed. So, na-emphasize na rin kanina, meaning, ikaw talaga yung nakapagpatapos ng project na reflect mo at nakakontrata sa iyo. Then, falsification of documents in the bid submission. So, once na-sealed na po siya, na-submit na po natin, final na po yung document, walang dapat na modification. So, some pages are not signed or initialed. So, may mga requirements po tayo na portion ng mga documents na kailangan nakasign lahat, kailangan nakasign. Kung hindi naman, be it. Pero may, kasi some of the pages are not signed or initialed are also ground for disqualification. Failure to indicate, comply, where it is required in the technical specification. So, kung kinakailangan, like doon sa bid form kanina na kailangan lagyan ng NA, lagyan ng NA. Or ito naman, kailangan lagyan ng comply, lagyan ng comply. Then, failure to integrate the bid bulletin in the technical specifications. Or failure to attach a signed copy of the bid bulletin. So, means to say na updated kayo doon sa mga posting natin kasi minsan yung originally posted natin ay na-amend po yun siya through supplemental bid bulletin or sometimes may bid bulletin nagkakaroon po ng changes yung schedule ng ating bid opening. So, pag hindi po natin na-integrate, grounds for disqualification din siya. Incorrect submission of the omnibus sworn statement, yung prescribed form. Kung luma ang nailagay natin na form, yung siyam or 10, hindi na po yun siya yung ating prescribed form. 11 na po na statements. Then, expired platinum PhilGIPS registration is also a ground for disqualification. So, common reasons of disqualification also are, or ito po, yung non-submission of proof of ownership as specified in the bidding documents. So, meaning, you pledge the equipment, you should see to it na mayroong proof na yun ay pag-aari or naka-lease contract siya. So, may arguments last time doon sa group chat namin sa procurement service. What if daw kung halimbawa yung participating bidders ay lahat lease contract siya. Wala siyang pagmamay-ari. Ang sagot doon, hindi naman siya bawal. Pwede naman siya as long as ma-provide niya yung mga attachments or legal documents na kinakailangan. So meaning, pwedeng magkontrata kahit wala kang own na equipment as long as lahat ng mga hinihingi na particular legal documents doon sa punto na yon ay may provide po ninyo at ma-present po ninyo. So, pwede po. Then, envelopes are composed of 3 sub-envelopes. Pakatandaan na lang po natin para po ito sa hindi na po kami mahirapan kasi kailangan namin yung dalawang original documents, isa sa opisina, isa para sa COA, at yung copy 1 ay para doon sa implementing office po na mag-implement ng project. So, kinakailangan natin yung 3 sub-envelopes. And those envelopes are composed of 2 sub-envelopes. The technical and the financial. So, hindi pwedeng paghaluin yung technical at saka yung financial documents, no? So, meaning, 6 lahat na envelope, nakapaloob doon sa 3 main envelope. So, certificate of PhilGIPS registration, particularly on civil work, should be a platinum membership and should not be expired unless otherwise it will result in disqualification. So, list of eligibility documents composed of, ito po yung makikita natin sa Annex A ng ating PhilGIPS certificate. DTI certificate, mayor's permit, tax clearance, audited financial statement, and PCAP should be updated, validated in the Annex A of your PhilGIPS certificate. So, doon sa audited financial statement, aware naman po tayo na kailangan din po siya na, ito tinitingnan din ito sa CWA natin sa updating ninyo sa CWA. Kung halimbawa hindi updated yung financial statement ninyo, audited financial statement ninyo, magkakaroon po tayo ng ineligibility kasi mag-fail po doon sa CWA natin. So, reminder lang po sa ating mga participating bidders, lalo na po sa nakikinig at nanonood ngayon sa live stream natin. Paki-check po yung mga particulars natin sa CWA para po maiwasan natin po yung ma-delay. Even though updated yung physical document ninyo, but then we have to request for unlocking doon sa CWA dahil nga during sa electronic eligibility ay nagpalya po yung document ninyo. So, pag naka-reflect doon na expired or hindi updated, lumampas na sa date ng ating bid opening, or expire na siya before pa man sa date of opening. Then, doon sa physical document is updated pala or na-renewed. So, magkakaroon pa rin po tayo ng request for unlocking doon sa CWA. And, ang consequences po nito is, madidelay po yung pag-award natin ng project if ever kayo po ang lowest calculated bid or responsive pag hindi pa rin po na-unlock yung CWA natin. So, si CWA sa unlocking po ay si procurement service po ang mag-determine kung denied ba or approve yung request for unlocking ninyo. So once na na-unlock na po natin, saka pa lang po tayo makakapagpa-award. Then in case of the mayor's permit, especially during early procurement activity or end of the year, receipt of for renewal of the said permit is allowed as proof of renewal, but for the other maintained documents, it is ground for disqualification once lacking or expired. So, yung proof na yun ay kailangan maipakita po prior sa ating pag-award. No? Yun po yung bago ngayon sa 12009. Maipakita po siya at saka kailangan din po natin ma-update doon. No? So, usually naman nangyayari ito during sa pag-start pa lang ng taon kasi minsan natatagalan po yung renewal ng ating business permit or mayor's permit. Photocopied documents should present their original document to the procurement unit for them to validate that and be certified through copy by them also, or should secure a CTC from where the document originated to ensure the document is genuine. So, ito po yung mga halimbawa ng mga documents na hindi naman po ninyo isa-submit kasi nga po yung original noon is itatago ninyo kasi gagamitin nyo pa sa ibang mga paggagamitan nyo pa. So, meaning, you will be submitting a photocopy of this and we have to certify through copy those documents, but make sure na may present po ninyo yung original document ninyo. So the firm is not allowed to CTC by itself because it will result to being a self-serving as observed and noted by the COA auditor part of their findings before. So audited financial statement, formerly BR stamp receipt siya, manually done, but currently meron na pong electronic submission na ginagawa po. So nag-upgrade na rin po yung BIR natin. And for pickup license, contractors under small a and small b will no longer be required as to their experience as long as with the required range and cost not exceeding 30 million. So documents are properly air-tagged according to checklist attached during posting. Also, please fasten the documents at the left side portion ready for blue binder compilation as per ISO requirements. So hindi po tayo magbubutas doon sa taas ng bond paper natin or ng documents, kundi sa gilid na po, left side portion. Then, standard forms should be followed. Yung sa list of ongoing projects, SLCC, DEO9, DEO58 series of 2012, DEO11 series of 2017, and other standard forms. Yung iba, nasa sa downloadable form po ng ating website sa DPWH. So, pwede na po nating kuha doon. Sa DEO9 and DEO58, certification po siya, so no need to notarize. But yung combine po ng DEO9 at saka DEO58, ito po yung pledge ng manpower at saka ng equipment. Yung format niya kasi is kailangan manotarize. So, it should be notarized. Then yung DEO11 naman is also a certification like the DEO9. So, hindi na kailangan i-notarize. As long as signed siya nung kinakailangan mag-signature doon. Then DEO110 series of 2024. The implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement for large A, medium A, and medium B and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. So ang DEO110 is noon pa po, nagsisimula nung January na kailangan na pong ISO certification po yung ating mga participating bidders. So meaning ang exempted na lang po is small a at saka small b at the moment. Then, secretary certificate for participating bidders with a corporation and CDE certificate for cooperatives which needs to be notarized. So sa structural organization naman, meron tayong 5 key personnel. We have the project manager, the project engineer, the materials engineer, safety officer, and the construction foreman. Lahat po ito sila ay nangangailangan po ng TIN, including the proprietor. So, hahanapin po yan ng ating BACTWG kasi hinahanap din po sa atin ng COA during sa submission ng ating kontrata. Patungkol naman doon sa project manager, sa project engineer, at sa materials engineer, kailangan po iba-ibang personahe po yung andun. Kasi kinakailangan po natin yan during sa CWA awarding. So, hindi po pwedeng isang tao lang si PM at saka si PE, or PE at saka si ME. Then, minimum years of experience as posted in the ITB. So, tingnan na lang po natin yung BDocs, no? Andun yung sa instruction to bidders. Ano yung mga kailangan ng mga minimum years of experience. Then, PRC ID, kung kinakailangan po, it should be updated, hindi po expired. Then, certificate of accreditation should be updated also. So, dati, ME lang po ang may accreditation. Ngayon, pati PE po ay kinakailangan na rin po. So, magsusot sa kung saan siya applicable. Then, in the case na magpapalit po tayo ng ating personnel like ME at saka PE natin, halimbawa during sa bid opening, ito po yung na-pledge natin, nakasaad din po doon sa DO9 natin, at saka sa structural organization natin na sinubmit. Pag nagkataon po na magpapalit tayo during sa implementation stage, make sure na ma-inform po ang opisina with your request letter na magpapalit po kayo nung personnel ninyo, informing us, para po ma-update po natin kasi during sa pagkandak po ng mga audit, nangyayari po na iba yung naka-pledge, iba naman yung nagagamit na personnel during sa implementation stage, which is unaware po kami. So, pwede pong magkakaroon po yan ng marka sa inyo, possible magkakaroon yan ng blacklisting pagdating ng panahon. Then, pledge of equipment for the contract. Minimum requirements for equipment should be followed with attached clear copy of updated ORCR of the vehicles used. So, list of equipment should coincide with attached proof of ownership or lease. So, gaya ng sinabi ko na kanina, hindi naman kailangan talaga na own mo yung equipment na yon, pwede namang mag-lease as long as ma-provide mo yung kinakailangan. So, lease contract should also comply with the required attachments, the ORCR of the vehicle in a clear copy. QR code is already implemented by the LTO, so mag-scan na lang po si BPWH natin to determine yung veracity at saka yung genuinity ng document. As much as possible, only required equipment or tools in the list of minimum requirements for equipment as posted should be included in complying the said requirements to avoid confusion on the part of the TWG. So, sa financial document naman, POQ as posted should be followed, the item number, description, and quantity. Not unless nagkaroon po tayo ng supplemental bid bulletin, may mga pagbabago, doon po papasok yung mga changes from originally posted, pag-advertise natin, at saka doon sa time na nagkaroon po tayo ng supplemental bid bulletin. So notices will be sent through email and courier if there were notice of ineligibility immediately. So dito po nangyayari po itong pag-issue namin ng notice of ineligibility. Pag nagkaroon na po ng result doon sa CWA, electronic eligibility, na nag-fail po kayo, then doon naman sa physical document niyo is updated naman kayo or na-renewed yung mga nag-expire. But then, dito nga dahil sa notice of ineligibility na yan, magkakaroon po kayo ng motion for reconsideration or request for reconsideration na yung nasubmit po ninyo ay ma-reconsider. But then, kaya na sinabi ko na kanina, dadaan po tayo sa proseso, magre-request po kami ng unlocking doon sa CWA. Dahil nga nag-lock siya doon nung time na generate tayo ng CWA, electronic eligibility, so kailangan ma-unlock, presenting yung document na submitted ninyo during sa bid opening na nag-satisfy doon sa requirement na hindi naman pala siya, updated naman pala siya or hindi siya expired. So yun siya. So kaya nang sinabi ko na kanina, magpo siya ng delay during sa time ng pag-award pag kayo po yung nagiging LCRV. Post-qualification requirements should be submitted within 5 calendar days after an issuance of notice of lowest calculated bid. So pakatandaan po, like for example, nangyari na ito, no, na during sa time of bid opening, sosok pa yung isang particulars doon sa CWA like halimbawa tax clearance. But then after 2 days ng bid opening, nag-expire na siya. Meaning, sometimes also during the post-qualification, kailangan may present yung renewed or updated within 5 calendar days upon receipt of the notice of lowest calculated bid. So meaning, pag natanggap ninyo yung notice of lowest calculated bid, magka-countdown na kagad tayo ng 5 calendar days. 5 calendar days, hindi 5 office working days. So meaning, kahit Sabado at Linggo counted yan, or holiday. So, kailangan may present ninyo yung document na hiningi ng ating back DWG para mapatunayan po na yung nag-expire ay na-renew na po. So, advice lang po, pakicheck lahat ng mga particulars ninyo. Kung kailangan maaga na mai-renew ninyo, agahan ninyo kasi nagkakaroon po ng problema ngayon sa approval, especially doon sa pickup or even sa PhilJips. Pero ang PhilJips hindi gaano, doon sa pickup ang medyo matagal. So, yun siya. Kailangan may present ninyo 5 calendar days after sa notice of lowest calculated bid or else madi-disqualify kayo at mag-proceed kami sa next lowest bidder. NOAA requirements should be submitted within 10 calendar days as required. So, mayroon na mga requirements doon sa NOAA. Kailangan maibigay natin within 10 calendar days. Included na doon yung certification for the Insurance Commission na nagbibigay din po ng deadlines na hanggang 10 calendar days lang din po dapat naka-apply na kayo. Or else, hindi na po sila magsicertify sa inyo. So, bid bulletins will be issued in some instances where there were clarifications, changes in the schedule of bid opening, and a supplemental bid bulletin or bulletins will be issued for any amendments on posted ITB, particularly on some changes in the items of work, description, quantity, or contract categories. So, I would like to explain. Itong supplemental bid bulletin natin is kailangan may submit 7 calendar days prior sa bid opening. So, as much as possible, maibigay nila mas mahaba pa ng konti, no? Kung maibigay nila 10 days prior sa bid opening, mas maigi. Pero hanggang 7 calendar days lang po tayo. So, in instances na 5 calendar days na lang prior to bid opening, tapos may kailangan pa rin na i-amend kasi maapektuhan yung pag-implement ng project pag hindi yun siya na-include or na-amend. Ang mangyari, papasok po si bid bulletin. Kasi yung original schedule natin ay mamumove po siya for that particular contract kasi kailangan natin yung 7 calendar days para doon sa supplemental bid bulletin. Like for example, 5 days na lang bago ang bid opening. Hindi natin pwedeng ipasok si supplemental bid bulletin kasi nga ang requirement is 7 calendar days. Mauuna po si bid bulletin. Mag-issue tayo ng bid bulletin para ma-move po yung original schedule ng ating bid opening to accommodate doon sa supplemental bid bulletin na kailangan may pasok siya 7 calendar days prior to bid opening. So meaning yung 5 calendar days, pwedeng dagdagan ng 3 araw, 2 o 3 para lang may pasok si supplemental bid bulletin pag 5 calendar days na lang naiwan prior sa bid opening. So, mauna si bid bulletin, din susunod kaagad si supplemental bid bulletin. Kung ano yung mga changes na possible, doon sa ipapasok yung mga amendments na yun. So, clear po yun. So, para po hindi tayo maligaw or hindi tayo mawala sa tamang direksyon, please visit the PhilJips website and the DPWH website kung saan po doon namin napopost yung ating bid bulletin or supplemental bid bulletin. Then, additional din po, as per DEO 164 series of 2025, nagkaroon na po ng updated guidelines para doon sa determination of major and similar categories of work and eligibility requirements of work experience. Kung dati yung basihan natin is DEO 117 series of 2017, may bago na po tayo ngayon, yung DEO 164 series of 2025. Doon nyo po malalaman kung pasok kayo pag sumali kayo sa bidding. Tingnan po ninyo yung major categories, then similar categories of work. So, may mga code po doon. Pag hindi pasok, huwag ipilit kasi baka ma-disqualified lang po kayo. So, pakicheck lang po, especially doon sa EWCRSD, pertaining ito sa electrical work, na mayroon po siyang work description ng construction road, safety system, example solar LED, street lights, solar studs, and signalization, mga signages. So, kung tingnan yung pickup ninyo, kung part ba doon sa pickup ninyo yung electrical works, baka wala rin po. So, posibleng grounds yun. Pag nag-request po tayo ng unlocking, at yun po ang request natin at hindi na-approve, dahil din po siguro doon sa rason na yun. So far, yun lang po, Mr. Chair. And
Thank you, Sir Alex. So, additional reminders, we follow the pass-fail criterion. Missing one document in the checklist means automatic disqualification. We strongly encourage you to conduct a site inspection to verify the actual condition. So the bid opening will be on August 3 at exactly at 10 o'clock in the morning at the conference room. So late bids will not be accepted. So is there any more clarification?
Section budget. Baka may tanong.
Relate ko sa site inspection certificate ko. If ever naman na mag-i site inspection, ano yung sama?
Yung sa pagkuhan po, pag-conduct ng site inspection, una is mauna kayo mag-request sa office.
Yes.
Oo, para samahan ko kayo. Naka-channel yan doon sa district engineer namin sa head of the procurement. Then, mag-assign siya ng tao from the personnel, o ng personnel from the planning and design section na mag-accompany po sa inyo doon sa proposed site or location ng project para po matingnan din ninyo, makalibig ninyo. Then, after that, may certification na ibibigay si planning natin na na-conduct nyo yung site inspection. Then, kailangan nyo rin mag-submit ng yung affidavit of site inspection. So, meaning nakanotarize siya.
Yes, sir.
Yun ang isa sa mga requirements din. So, kasi hinanapan kami niyan last time ni Kowa as part of the requirements. So, mauna, letter of intent, nakasasali ka, or, REI, request of expression of interest. Then, sunod is yung request na mag-site inspection with the personnel from the PDS. Then, after that, hingingin mo yung certification from the planning and design section na nagkaroon nga kayo ng site inspection. Yun ang patunay. Then, after that, magkuhan ka rin ng affidavit. Nakanotarize ko. Siya yung process niya. Maganda ka, sir?
5,000 ba ka? Hindi pa sila.
Depende po sa cost ng ating nasasalihan.
459 yung 459.
Nasa 5,000 siya.
Pero ano kami guys yung more sa sa mga complaint namin kinahin na hihingi. Letter of intent.
Supposedly, sir, yung pagkandak ng site inspection, kasi early naman tayo nagpo-post, di ba?
Yes.
Yung advertisement natin. So, as early sana as before natin nakandak itong pre-bid, nakakandak na kayo para at least kung may mga clarifications kayo doon sa site or may mga may tanong nyo na ngayon. Opo.
Barangay na sa
Ang purpose lang naman is kung may mga clarification kayo pertaining doon sa na-prepare na PAW, plano,
So, ang nila lang namin yung site inspection certificate hindi po ba siya yata sa video?
Yes, pag hindi siya may attach during sa video opening, wala naman sa CGS, pero kailangan siya doon sa COSWA. Kasi part siya ng completion ng contract documents na isasubmit namin sa COA. Hindi mo, sir?
Yan lang po. September, ano na lang. Patara lang kami, sir. Or sabihin sa letter statement. And then, ask mo na lang, sir, if ever naka-ongo na ano kami site inspection, saka pa ba yung affidavit? Site inspection.
Actually, nasa choice nyo yan kung isasabay nyo siya during sa document na pag-submit niyo during sa video opening. Hindi. So, kung naibigay nyo na,
required ko siya sa pag-ibig.
during sa video opening, hindi naman doon sa COSWA siya. Kasi wala naman siya totally doon sa CGS. So, doon na siya hanapin during sa post qualification pag kayo po ang nag-CCB.
Sige, noted, sir.
Okay.
Yan lang po, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, with all 12 procurement projects have been presented and recorded, there being no further matters to discuss, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you and